When you lock your doors at night, you tell yourself the house is yours, your walls, your space, your air. But what if someone else was already inside? Not behind the door, not under your bed, but above you. This is the true story of a family in Mont Juliet, Tennessee. A story that began with the sound of footsteps in the ceiling and ended with police pulling an 18-year-old man out of their attic. It was an ordinary rental home, cream siding, red shutters, and the faint smell of pine mulch after a June rain. A mother lived there with her teenage daughter. The house had an attic, unfinished, used only for boxes and insulation. The hatch sat inside the daughter's walk-in closet, a small square in the ceiling you'd never notice unless you looked up. For weeks, little things felt off. A light left on she didn't remember turning, the faint sound of movement when the HVAC shut off. But she brushed it off, stress, work, or the house settling. Until one morning, her daughter said something simple that made her blood run cold. "Mom, I think I heard breathing in my room last night." That night, she stayed awake. The house was silent except for the hum of the fridge and the ticking of the wall clock. Then, around 11:45 p.m., the sound came, faint but distinct. A slow drag of movement above her daughter's room. Then a pause. Then a shuffle. She froze, eyes on the ceiling. The attic was right above. The breathing sound was real this time, labored, shallow. She grabbed her phone and whispered to her daughter to stay in the room and lock the door. When officers arrived, they climbed the closet ladder, flashlights cutting through insulation dust. They expected raccoons, maybe a squatter. What they found instead was a teenage boy. The intruder was identified as Matthew Castro, 18 years old. He wasn't a stranger. He had met the homeowner's 14-year-old daughter months earlier. He had been sneaking into the attic through a small hatch in her closet, climbing up when the family was asleep and staying there for days at a time. Police later found evidence that he'd made a small sleeping area among the rafters, a pillow, water bottles, snacks, even a notebook. The most chilling part? He had been coming down from the attic into her room while the mother slept. The police estimated he had been living above them for at least 2 weeks, entering whenever he wanted, staying silent in the day, and slipping down at night to see the girl. Imagine it. Eating dinner downstairs, watching TV, brushing your teeth, while above you, someone lies quietly listening to every sound. The mother said she often felt watched. She just didn't know the direction of the eyes. Police removed Castro from the attic that night. He was charged with aggravated criminal trespass and taken into custody. Officers said he'd been hiding in the house for several nights, using the attic as his own secret base. They later learned he'd entered through the side door when no one was home, climbing into the attic via the closet hatch. The mother's voice, when interviewed, trembled. "I had no idea someone could be living right above us. He could have heard everything we said. Everything." That quote stayed in headlines for days. After the arrest, the attic was cleared, the bedding removed, the hatch resealed. But sound carries memory. For months, the mother said she couldn't sleep. Every creak made her look up. Every gust of wind sounded like movement. And she wasn't alone. Across the country, police have recorded dozens of cases where people were found secretly living in attics, crawl spaces, even behind walls. Not killers, just intruders who quietly inserted themselves into someone else's life. There are noises you can't explain. Pipes, wind, air vents. But sometimes, the sound above you isn't just the house. It's a reminder that walls are thin, ceilings hollow, and privacy is never as complete as we think. Somewhere in Tennessee, a family learned that lesson the hard way. So tonight, before you sleep, listen to the quiet. And if you hear something shifting above you, don't assume it's the wind. This story is true. Reported by Inside Edition, WKRN News 2, and Tennessee Police in 2019. If you'd like to hear more real horror stories like this, subscribe. And remember, safety isn't silence. its awareness.